is it, right? Okay, fully relax from it.
Oh, wow. Hello everybody, yeah, welcome to Just for Women Africa, and my name is Olaliko Amusa, the founder of Just for Women Africa. And today on the show we're going to be doing health, chiropractic, and today we have with us a chiropractor in the name of Doctor Afua Adjei-Kwayisi.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and guys, before we start, do not forget to subscribe, tell a friend who knows a friend about Just for Women Africa. All right, Dr. Adjei, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. All right. Okay, why did you decide to start up a chiropractic center?
Well, I would say this. I've been in the health space for quite a few years now, almost like 15 years. I'm still a medical doctor by profession, but along the way, I noticed that there was this little gap within our healthcare system when it came to neuro-musculoskeletal issues. So I then proceeded to study chiropractic in the US, and then I was offered a job there. Actually, I worked for about a year with them.
Okay.
But then I decided to come back home because that was my main focus, was to serve Ghanaians and bridge that gap.
Okay.
Now when I came back to Ghana, yes, we have a center in the public space, but then there were people who were asking for private care.
Okay.
So that's when I decided to set it up just about 3 years ago, to be able to meet people who wanted to access healthcare in the most ambient environment, in the most private space. And for me, I felt like that's one of the beauty of well-being, and that's actually the name behind the Oak Wellness Hub. Most times when people use the word wellness, it's more about massaging and stuff. But for me, I wanted it to be more like a place people could get to. Just the entrance itself, or just the ambience itself, was enough for them to know that they were in the right place when it came to health and wellness.
The name Oak Wellness Hub, how do you come up with the name?
Well, my middle name is Ohenewa.
Okay.
And then Adjei-Kwayisi.
Okay.
And my maiden name is Adjei-Kwayisi, is my husband's name.
Ah, that's great.
But also we wanted to emphasize on the fact that the oak tree is a very strong tree with deep roots.
Okay.
And there's nothing better than looking at taking very good care of your spine and your well-being, because that's the deepest root anybody could achieve to be able to live long on this earth, basically. Okay. So the oak symbolizes that strong oak tree, which is also in our symbol. Okay. But then it also has that backdrop of it, encompassing everything that I hold dear. Myself, my family, my husband's family.
Well, that's really nice. Okay, let's talk a little bit about chiropractic. What exactly is chiropractic, and why do people need to come down to a chiropractic center?
I would say this: most people have that misconception of thinking chiropractic has to do with only the neuromusculoskeletal problems. But chiropractic is a whole healthcare model that has to do with less reliance on drugs or surgery. Okay. We feel, or the philosophy behind chiropractic is the fact that we've got to look within the human framework, the perfection of it at birth, and the fact that it has the potential to self-heal. The only thing that it needs, it's allowing, or more like trying to enhance that healing power within us. Sometimes it doesn't make too much sense to the medical world, or where I still practice, because the whole point is we have been taught to think in a linear fashion. There must be a germ and there must be an antibiotic to take care of it. Okay. Or there must be a disease and there must be a cure for it. Okay. But sometimes we've neglected other things that are within the person's environment that could tip them into ill health, which may not be ascribed to just one factor. Okay. So chiropractic looks at it in that manner. We call a disease being a dis-ease. Okay. You're not being at ease with it yourself. Okay. And how best could we enhance you being at ease by just using your own unique innate intelligence? Okay. So that's what chiropractic is about. Okay. Seeing a chiropractor is more about seeing the person to help unearth that healing power within you.
Okay.
You being able to take care of your stress, your digestive issues, your pain, various pains that you're encountering, or just trying to understand why you experience certain things like loss of sleep, all those little things of ill health that eventually result in bigger issues like heart attacks and anginas and like colon cancers and stuff. So to see a chiropractor is more about to understand how you can heal without drugs or surgery.
Okay.
The beauty of it though is we believe that the spine in itself harbors the nervous system, which supplies every single organ in your body with the information that it needs to work well. So how best could we do that? By through removing compressions on nerves, stimulating them enough to help the organs work well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of people, like when they think of chiropractic, center or wellness center, they feel that they come over. They say the chiropractor adjusts the spine. What does the adjustment to the spine actually do to the body?
All right. So as you look at the spine, and as I previously explained, you have only one spinal cord that runs through the spine, and the spine is made up of these bones in here. A few times, just because of the kind of activities that we engage in daily, there's the potential for you to cause a kink in your spine that could compress on nerves, and these nerves are the ones that send information to every single organ in your body. So just imagine you compromising that. Now there have been a few people who have disputed that by saying, well, there's possibility of that happening, not sending enough information to the organs in the body is limited. But then I always love to use that analogy of, if you have a light bulb that keeps flickering, would you outrightly more like blame it on the brand of the bulb? Could it be maybe the conduction to the bulb is not adequate enough, so the bulb keeps dying? Certainly you would need to check your wiring, or even check the motherboard, which in our case is the brain. So when you come see a chiropractor, the adjustment in itself is to help relieve all these interferences on the nerves, the nervous system itself, for you to be able to heal better. So that's why we do the adjustments.
Interesting. All right, so how often should somebody come in to see a chiropractor?
I would say this, we always get BP checks. We usually go in for lab requests to check the organs. You need to check the spine to see if it's sending the right information to those organs. So ideally you could get it like once a month, or maybe once every 2 months, or it could be once a quarter, depending on your lifestyle. But usually it starts with that first spinal check, for that person to be able to know that, okay, you have this potential issue and maybe you need to be coming more frequently. Other times I've had people who are in top-notch position, they are well. There are people like that. And for those, I would just say maybe you can come back in a year's time, and it's possible. Yeah.
Is the service cheap?
Cheap is relative. I mean, you want to put value on.
How affordable is it?
How affordable is it? I usually say this, if you put a premium on your health, then you will now have to decide whether it's affordable to you or not. But I would say relatively, per our economic situation in Ghana now, it's relatively affordable to most people. Most people from the low to middle income status, even to the higher up. The reason why most people feel like it's expensive is just because we need you to commit to your care plan. So you may be given in a bulk, but technically when you sit back to really break it up, you realize that it isn't. And I also would say this, it's accessible to everyone. Because I run a program in Greater Accra Regional Hospital, the World Spine Care Clinic, which makes it even much more accessible to people of low to lower income earners. So they can come in and still get a spine check, and if they need to be taken care of, they are also put on a program. Yes, maybe the clinic lacks the bells and whistles, I mean, the ambience and everything, but it's still made accessible to all. So I would say chiropractic is actually relatively accessible to everyone, but depending on your economic status, then you can decide to go private or public. Yeah, so it is affordable.
All right, that's really like this. So basically anybody can walk in and get.
Anybody can walk in. There's no excuse for anyone to say that they can't afford chiropractic care. In Ghana, I would say. Brag about that.
All right. Okay, let's move to my next question. You recently got an award.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Before we talk more about that, just tell us, apart from the chiropractic services you offer, what else do you do here at Oak Wellness Hub?
Okay, so what we do here, we still, it's more about the health of the person, not only limited to the spinal issues. But even if we should focus on that being the core offering we give here, we do aquatherapy, because we do realize that when you've got a strong back, most times you're able to achieve that through swimming.
Okay.
And also doing exercises within the pool. Okay. We offer physiotherapy services here. Okay. For people. We do the chiropractic services. And then we also offer the soft tissue massage services here too, that people come in here for. So basically those are our core offerings, but we also do corporate wellness, whereby we go over to corporate bodies, give them health talks, a few spinal checks, or maybe even seated massages. So those are the things that we do. And then we also run a program called the 50 Plus Gym. Okay. So there are elderly people there. I know that we have gyms in this country, but most times the elderly are scared to go there because the machines and stuff, they are intimidating. Okay. And I mean, we're going there with the younger people. So we run the 50 Plus Gym club or society. They come in here and then they get to exercise under guidance. Oh, so not necessarily to just get adjustments, but they just come in, exercise, and then they go home.
Oh, that's really nice.
They are much better off.
Oh, that's really nice. It's really nice to know that there's a place for the elderly to come over and go to the gym. Yeah. Go to the gym.
Yes.
Okay, that's really nice. That's really nice. That's really nice. Okay, let's talk about your award.
Ah, yes.
You got to recently this award.
I know.
I'm sure viewers can see it. Women in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And health well-being.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the award.
Thank you very much. I would say I'm kind of proud of this award because number one, I wasn't expecting it, though I know that I'm creating my own space in this arena. I've been in the conservative medical field for quite a while. Okay. And I just opened this just 3 years old. Okay. So to be recognized in the entrepreneurial space as someone who is giving good quality services in the health and well-being arena makes me really proud that I'm getting the recognition that I should. Okay. For me, I would say the highlight of it was I was more like nominated alongside other women who have really done well in the entrepreneurial space too. And somehow it comes still as a surprise to me that they picked me above them, who was just 3 years old. Yeah. But it's a proud moment for me, and I know there are many more awards coming alongside this. Yeah. Personally, I've had other awards in the medical field and things, but for the entrepreneurial aspect of everything that I've been able to achieve within the 3 years, it really makes me proud that I got noticed.
Yeah, we're proud of you over here in Just for Women Africa.
Yes.
On your award.
Thank you.
I mean, so you've been in business for a while. What are some of the challenges you've come up with as a woman doing business here in Ghana? Has it been smooth sailing? Do people take you seriously? Or some women say it's a man's world. Do you agree with that?
I partly agree to it. It's a man's world because sometimes the opportunities such as getting loans, being a voice out there, getting stuff going, pitching, and it gets a little bit frustrating because it seems you're making a lot of noise but you're not being heard. Or even when you're being heard, they find it surprising that you are able to beat your drum this loud. And some people are not too receptive to that. So they will make certain comments or they'll take certain actions that almost like demeans everything that you want to achieve. In business, I would say this. Yes, every good business needs to pay its taxes. Every good business needs to, be able to market well and everything. But it's not that easy as compared to a man doing same. I mean, if you have the GRA coming, trying to find stuff going on wrong with your company, unless you have a man fronting it, sometimes you can actually get into problems with that. I'm not saying that happens with everybody though, but the whole point is it's a business sense. It's not that easy for a woman to be able to thrive compared to its male counterpart.
I think it is that men, because I heard that from a lot of women, where they say that okay, you have to get a man to front the business. If you don't get a man fronting the business, then no society wouldn't take it seriously. Why do you think is that?
I think it boils down to a cultural, just a way of living, our culture, and also how our patriarchal society makes us feel like, well, women need to be seen and not heard, sort of. And sometimes, in as much as it may be subtle, it's still there. And sometimes you get things going better if you have a man standing in that gap. There is not much time to waste when you want to achieve something. So in the end, we succumb to this, and instead of voicing it out ourselves, we get men to be able to front it for us, to be able to get to that end goal. It's unfortunate, but it's happening.
So you're saying that without a man fronting to the business,
Sometimes it slows down.
that means fronting for a business, I mean, if you're thinking of growing a really huge, big business,
Yeah.
you don't have a man fronting for you, it's not going anywhere.
No, it will get somewhere, but maybe the length at which or the time frame to be able to achieve where you want to get to may take a much longer time than you, the woman, fronting it. I mean, a woman fronting it, I will not dispute, it's admirable. People be like, oh wow, you know, what the bells and whistles will go out for you. But sometimes there's always that hesitancy in giving you the chance or that stepping stone to be able to do certain things just because you're a woman. I can't fully explain it, but it is there. It's that white elephant in that room.
Okay.
And if you tend to focus on that white elephant, it sets you back.
Okay.
But if you try to find a way to circumvent around it, which involves maybe hiring the services of a man to front it for you, then you'll be able to get to your destination or get to your goal. So it's there. I mean, there are examples, but I wouldn't want to share many of that.
I do agree.
If, for example, you need to go for a loan, sometimes it's best to go with a man. But you're not taken seriously.
It's kind of, why do you think society looks at it that way?
It's our
Because
culture.
I remember interviewing a lady last year, and she's doing well in her business. But when it came to time to going for meetings and all, she has somebody who also goes for it. And I was asking her why she doesn't go for the meetings. She didn't give me a direct answer, but I think your answer, what you just basically explained it, probably that's why she sends the man.
It's admirable to be seen, but you are heard best if a man is speaking it on your behalf. I know many people may not agree to it, but on the reality of it, that's what's happening.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Men are taken more seriously, if I might say.
All right, let me ask you this question before we round up the interview. It is said that a successful woman is a woman who is able to balance her home, her work, social life and all that. Is termed as a successful woman. Do you agree with that definition?
I think that's society's definition of success. But for me, I feel like a woman needs to define her own success. Because what we call or what we term as balance and home, work and all that stuff, there are some people who are successful but who may not be the ideal environment. So then someone may sit back and be like, oh, she's so successful, the woman, but somehow the woman wants to achieve more but is unable to. She's unable to because there are so many limitations. So though everybody keeps praising her, in her own quiet space, she feels like there's so much more she could have achieved if all these little barriers were not there. So in my opinion, a woman needs to define her own success. She needs to sit back and say that I've been able to achieve this on my own, or maybe I achieved it with the help of family, but this was my initiative and I got to where I wanted to get to. That, in my opinion, is success. I wouldn't want society to define it for us, because sometimes we place an undue burden on people just because we place that label on them that they are successful. So there are certain things that they would have to, or there are certain perceived activities that they need to engage in to be able to keep that status quo. But sometimes it's burdensome because that's not the road they want to be on.
Okay.
Exactly. So for me, I would say that, look, for a woman to say, or for anybody to be labeled as successful, we need to find out from the woman if she's gotten there yet.
Gotten there yet, is it defined by what's in your bank account?
No, not at all. I know successful women who just love being at home and being the best for their family. And for them, they know that they have, in quotes, arrived, as Ghanaians will put it. They know they've gotten there, they've been able to achieve it. And that's their success. And sometimes they write books if they get the opportunity to, and it blows up. And people are like, oh wow, I didn't know this story about this woman. And when people get to accept the fact that she is successful, then she is successful. And it's a win-win thing, because now she sits back, she shared her story, she feels fulfilled within herself, and the world is seeing that fulfillment. That's in my view, that's successful, being successful.
We're about to round up the interview. I mean, you've been in business for a long time, you run a successful business, I see you going places. What's your advice to women out there who are looking up to you, and after your award and all, they want to run their own business, they want to be successful? I mean, just agree, being success is relative, but they feel like it's a man's world, there are a lot of barriers. I mean, what's your advice to women out there? I mean, in Ghana, in Africa, all over the world?
There's this Ghanaian adage that if you hear the sound of pounding of fufu, in someone's home, don't be too flustered about it that they are going to eat it with delicious soup. For all you know, it's just a man's soup. The thing is, don't overthink it. Don't feel like, okay, I mean, aspire to get awards, aspire to get there, but start small, know yourself, and stick to it. Usually, I'll use the term like there's a lot of grit that has to go along with this. Keeping focused, looking at the end of the tunnel, just knowing the kind of vision that you want to achieve, and then just focusing on that and then getting it.
What you just said, it makes a lot of sense. All right, so do not tune out. We'll be back. I'm going to get myself an adjustment, and then Dr. Afua will be doing that first.
Yes. Would that be your first adjustment then?
That will be my first adjustment.
Oh, wow. Right. Then before, I would have to take like a few history with you, examination, before you get to the right, get the adjustment in itself.
Okay.
So just let your viewers know that before then, we would have to clear that one out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes. I won't just be sitting on the chair. I have to go through some club. All right, so we'll be right back, and we're rounding up the interview with Dr. Afua Adjei.
Yes. All right.
Okay, everybody, I just finished with my first chiropractic adjustment. I must say it's really, really nice. I encourage everybody to come over and get one. It's healthy. And Dr. Afua here will do it for you.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Afua, as we round up the interview, what's your last words to women who want to network, socialize, and get talking to other women in other trades and stuff like that? And also, could you kindly give out your contact details for people who want to come over, get adjustments here at the Oak Wellness Hub?
Yes. Well, I would say this: women, we help ourselves the best. We are our major supporters in the whole entrepreneurial space. We need to be the ones to really build ourselves up. For me, I got the opportunity to network with people all over Africa through the African Women's Entrepreneurship Cooperative. So if you're a woman listening to this, I would ask that you check it out, because I think they have nominations or the applications open. But it was a really great platform for me to really understand how businesses were in and across Africa. Okay. And in this space, I'm able to really learn more for to scale up this center and have all over across Africa. Because now I know I've got contacts there, so I can dream even much bigger. Sure. All right. When it comes to what we're doing here, we've got so many offers for us women. We always constantly are stressed. We've got so much on our plate, let alone thinking about growing our businesses. But if you really do need to come in, just mention that you got to know about Oak Wellness through the Just for Women Africa, and be bound to get to know that you get a discount off your first session. Wow! Yes,
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You get a discount by just mentioning Just for Women Africa.
Yes, just for women, just for Women Africa. Yes. So do come in, or if you need to book an appointment, check us out on Instagram, Facebook. The contact number is +233 55 555. Yes, they are 5 5s. So 55 555 2116. And certainly my front desk lady Ida with a sweet voice will get you scheduled for an appointment.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Afua.
You're very much
Do not forget, you get a discount. Just come in for an adjustment. Just mention Just for Women Africa and get the discount.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Afua. It's been a pleasure having an interview with you. We look forward to many more interviews with you, many more awards.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody, thanks for watching Just for Women Africa. Do not forget to tell a friend who knows a friend about Just for Women Africa. Subscribe. And to the next interview from Dr. Afua Adjei-Kwayisi. Bye.